Just ahead, our continued coverage of the Key Bridge collapse. We have an update. Plus, county officials are calling for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza.
We ask our elected officials on every level, federal, state, and county, to use their voices, individually and collectively, to call for an immediate, lasting ceasefire.
And we're at the game opener for the Nats. All that and more, up next on CTV News.
Good evening. For CTV News, I'm Patricia Vallone. Well, officials are talking next steps since the collapse of the Baltimore Key Bridge that took the lives of 6 construction workers and brought one of the nation's busiest ports to a standstill. Mariah Jalad joins me now with an update on what is next.
Thanks, Patty. Yes, there's been a lot of developments over the weekend. A temporary channel for essential maritime travel is being prepared in the Baltimore harbor. Officials say it will be open to commercially essential vessels whose paths are currently blocked by the Key Bridge collapse. Well, it's not clear when the channel will be open or what vessels will be considered essential, and if the route will be open to cargo ships or only vessels involved in the bridge collapse recovery. But officials say the route will support the flow of marine traffic into Baltimore, and it marks an important first step in reopening the port. Until now, authorities' efforts have been focused on recovery missions and clearing the wreckage. Demolition crews started cutting operations over the weekend to remove portions of the bridge, and a 200-ton piece was removed on Saturday. That piece was from the top section of the north side of the bridge. While that's underway, officials have still not given a timeline on how long that cleanup work is expected to take or what the cost will be.
This is going to take time to clear this section of the collapse. It's not going to take hours. It's not going to take days. But once we complete this phase of the work, we can move more tugs and more barges and more boats into the area to accelerate our recovery.
Meantime, in the U.S. District Court of Maryland, the Singaporean company that owns the Dolly cargo ship is asking a judge to cap the company's liability for the crash at $43 million.
So that 43 goes toward what? And how about the bridge itself?
It's not clear, but it seems they're just trying to minimize the liability that they not have to pay for bridge recovery or for any victim compensation by using a maritime law that would just require them to pay the cost of the ship and the cost of the freight.
I would imagine there's a lot of people not happy about that.
No, I'm sure there's not. And, you know, Governor Westmore just had a press conference talking about the cost and the timeline for this cleanup process. And while he said that they do want to speed it up, have it done in a timely manner, their number one priority is safety, because every time that a worker or anyone operating in the rescue search efforts is going into that water, he said that they're risking their lives. The water is extremely dangerous. The wreckage is extremely dangerous.
All right. Well, thank you, Mariah. I'm sure you're going to be following this throughout the week.
Yes, I will. Thank you.
Well, meantime, 2 bills have been formally introduced in Annapolis that would enable the governor to ease financial impact on workers at the port following the Key Bridge collapse and the closure. Now, the bills authorize Governor Westmore to use money from the state's $2 billion rainy day fund to replace wages lost from the shutdown of the port. Since the collapse, the port has remained closed, and its closure is estimated to cost workers and businesses $15 million a day. The bill does not cap how much can be drawn from the rainy day fund, but does require the state to seek federal reimbursement. The General Assembly only has a few days to pass the bill before the end of the legislative session. Well, Prince George's police need your help locating a critically missing man. Take a look at your screen. This is 64-year-old Leonard Pringle. Now, police say he was last seen in the 4900 block of LaSalle Road in Hyattsville on Saturday, March 30th. Anyone with information on his whereabouts is asked to contact police at 301-688-8255. 772-8970. Well, County Council members Walla Blagay and Crystal Riafa joined dozens of elected officials and faith leaders from across Prince George's calling for a ceasefire in Palestine. The group sent a letter in support of a ceasefire to County Executive Angela Alsobrooks, Council Chair Jolene Ivey, and Vice Chair Sidney Harrison. It stated that in recent months they have, quote, seen abhorrent and tragic use of our tax dollars supporting mass displacement, bombardment, imprisonment, starvation, and murder of Palestinian people.
We all felt a glimpse in 9/11, a glimpse. And we know what our country felt and how we mourned and how we cried and how we won't forget and how we go visit and how we remember. But imagine that daily, no cease, no sleep. We are in a country with power and we need to raise our voices. So I'm doing this because now I'm in a position where people can walk down the hall and talk to me. And I heard you all, and I said in a meeting with the Muslim community, I said, I am going to support a ceasefire, and I cannot remain silent. Ceasefire now.
There's no safe place for people in Gaza today. And the civilians are even buried without dignity. Their beloved are finding them under the rubble if they are lucky to find them.
Well, signers of the letter supporting a ceasefire include College Park Mayor Fazlul Kabir, Colmar Manor Mayor Monica Castañas, Brentwood Mayor Rocio Treminio Lopez, and state delegates, as well as school board members. And you're watching CTV News. Coming up, new programs that give ex-offenders a second chance. Plus, could schools soon change their start times? Don't go away. We'll be back with more news in just a moment.
We hear the stories of people forced to abandon their home. The stories of people whose dreams have been swept away, or their lives left hanging by a thread. Or whose worlds have been blasted apart. Although the stories repeat themselves, each person's experience is unique as they are. And whether it's care or community that people need, we're here to help them live a new chapter, to embrace what makes them unique, be a lifeline to the most vulnerable.
Out! Out! Everybody out! Come on!
Good job. Under 2 minutes.
Keep your loved ones safe from home fires. Practice a 2-minute drill until it's part of your routine. And test your smoke alarms monthly.
In America, millions of families are facing hunger. After rent and power, I can get groceries. It's sad to say food comes last. Anna from Texas. The Feeding America network of food banks helps provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. Together, we can end hunger. Learn more at feedingamerica.org.
Welcome back. Well, the end of the legislative session is just 1 week away. Lawmakers will gather in their respective chambers this evening at 6:30 to begin the tough task of wrapping things up for the 446th Maryland General Assembly session. Prince George's Delegation Chair Nicole Williams says considering how tough the budget was this year, the county has done relatively well.
It's been a very successful session thus far for Prince George's County. We still have to finalize the budget, so that will be taking place this week. But I'm really excited about what has been proposed in the budget for Prince George's County, especially for capital dollars towards the Blue Line corridor in Prince George's County, towards a number of our medical institutions in Prince George's County. And just really, it's a tight budget season, so everyone is fighting tooth and nail for dollars from the state level, but I do feel very pleased about what we've been able to accomplish so far.
And Williams says she believes the House budget bill is the better version, but hopes the two chambers can resolve any differences on the FY 2025 budget within the next few days. Well, April is Second Chance Month. This morning, County Executive Angela Alsobrooks held a press conference to highlight new programs that support formerly incarcerated people. The event was held at the Behavioral Health Pavilion at Luminous Health Doctors Community Medical Center, one of the county's partners for the initiative.
Today, we are announcing a few new initiatives that are designed to help set our returning citizens on the path to success. The first is our Reentry Employment Incentive Program. Now, this program will qualify eligible businesses for an annual reimbursement of up to $5,000 for every returning citizen they employed during the previous year.
Currently, I'm in the process of gaining my certification as a peer recovery specialist. This certification is being offered by the Prince George's County Health Department. With this certification, I hope to help young men like myself become great men, transitioning into their communities so that they may not be molded by their surroundings, but that they may shape and mold other potential great men.
And there's currently enough state and local funding to sustain the Reentry Employment Incentive Program through 2028. Well, the Maryland Senate votes to confirm a Republican nominee to the State Board of Elections on Friday. Diane Butler cleared the chamber with a vote of 32-12. During the confirmation process, Butler faced additional scrutiny because of a social media post where she compared masks to Nazi armbands and emails that she sent that question election integrity. With Friday's vote, she is now clear to start serving on the board. This despite objections from a dozen lawmakers who say she's unfit to serve on the panel.
I'll be voting against the nomination, and I want to tell you why. I think one of the qualifications that we need to consider when selecting our members of the State Board of Elections is their temperament. Another is their judgment. I have found this nominee to be severely lacking on both.
And Butler will replace Carlos Ayala, who resigned from the Elections Board in January after being indicted for allegedly participating in the January 6th insurrection at the U.S. Capitol. Well, leading Democratic candidates for U.S. Senate have been invited to speak at Towson University tomorrow evening. County Executive Angela Alsobrooks and U.S. Representative David Trone are scheduled to appear at the forum at Goucher College. Former Governor Larry Hogan was also invited but declined to appear. Candidates will not share the stage together. Both will get about 40 minutes to speak and take questions from event sponsors and Goucher students. A person was robbed at gunpoint by two armed bicyclists near the University of Maryland on Sunday. Prince George's police are investigating the incident, which happened near Norwich Road and Dickinson Avenue. Officers say two men on bicycles approached the victim, displayed a handgun, and demanded property. The men then allegedly fled on their bikes with the property toward the College Park metro station. Police are asking anyone with information to call 1-866-411-TIPS. Well, the Prince George's school system is considering making changes to start times for students. The school board is considering a proposal that would standardize times across the district. Currently, county-run schools begin between 7:30 and 9:30 a.m. Under the proposal, all elementary schools would start at 7:30 a.m., while middle schools and academies would begin at 8:30 a.m. High schools would start at 9:30. If approved, the changes would go into effect next academic year. The Montgomery County School District's new poverty metric may be to blame for why several schools will lose their Title I funding. Veers Mill Elementary is one of 4 schools set to lose its Title I standing beginning on July 1st. Impacted schools will no longer be able to get federal dollars, which many were using to hire enrichment teachers. The 4 schools also participate in a different federal program known as the Community Eligibility Provision, which provides free breakfast and lunch to most needy students. Now, the schools getting this money are no longer collecting applications for free or reduced lunch, which Montgomery County was using to measure poverty at schools. And still to come on CTV News, America's favorite pastime is back on the home field. Simon Buggs is there with a pregame check-in.
What's going on, sports fans? I'm here at Nationals Park where I got the chance to speak to some fans about opening day. I'll have more what they had to say coming right up. Stay right there. I promise you, you don't want to miss it.
Having low income can mean making tough choices. Choosing between paying for food or medication or a place to live is a reality for many people. Do you know someone who could use some extra help? Find out about the Supplemental Security Income Program, SSI. You could receive monthly SSI payments if your income and financial resources are low and you are 65 or older, or an adult or child with a disability or who is blind. SSI is money you can use to help pay for basic needs, like putting food on the table, keeping the lights on, paying the rent. It can mean new shoes for growing feet or help with medical needs. Call 1-800-772-1213 or visit ssa.gov/SSI to schedule an appointment or start to apply today. That's ssa.gov/SSI. Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
What's up, everybody? It's time for your Monday Sports Page. It's an exciting time for Nationals fans as opening day for the 2023 to 2024 season is finally here. Fans are pouring in and hoping the Nats can come away with a victory in their first home game of the season. I was able to catch up with some Nationals fans about how excited they were that opening day has come.
I'm always excited to be here at opening day and to see the Nats win, especially when the weather had looked so ominous to begin with. Now it seems to be clearing up. Hopefully the bats will be clearing up for the Nats too.
Very excited. I'm one of the founding members. I've been a season's ticket holder since their inception in 2005. My name is actually on the big board inside the stadium with other people who were founding. And it's very exciting. I think we have a lot of wonderful prospects and good veterans, Knicks. And I'm just real sentimental about the team.
I'm excited. I was here. I come to opening day almost every year, so hopefully we can pull this out. We can win. It's cold outside, so hopefully this will be our year.
Fans also gave their thoughts on how the team can improve in 2024.
I think it's just, staying the course with the young players that they have, and, hopefully they mature and get good soon.
Pitching always. You never can go wrong with good pitching. And a strong bullpen will usually see you through the tough times when the bats aren't working.
I think hitting, timely hitting seemed to be a problem. And sometimes fielding was a little awry, but they're much better with that, I think, this year.
The Nats took the field against the Pittsburgh Pirates at 4:05. And that wraps up your Monday Sports Page. From Nationals Park, Simon Buggs, CTV Sports.
Thanks, Simon. And now we'll look at our 3-day weather forecast. April showers bring May flowers, so we should have plenty next month. Tonight, we have rain showers throughout the region. Tuesday, we have a high of 58 and an 80% chance of rain, so be sure to watch out as well for fog. Now, Wednesday, expect rain and thunderstorms, a high of 56. And Thursday, the chance of rain decreases to 40%, and we'll see a high of 54, a low of 37. And now a look at our community calendar. Watkins Regional Park is hosting a glow-in-the-dark autism walk this Saturday. Come dressed, ready to glow for the 5K or 1-mile fun run to raise awareness and acceptance for autism. Now, ages 5 and under are free. For more information, contact 301-218-6700. And that wraps up CTV News for now. I'm Patricia Vallone. We'll see you again tomorrow. Have a great night.